How to cultivate happiness in relationships. It's that time of the year. People are together. It's holiday season, time of happiness and joy. But also, it can strain relationships. It can cause problems. Can sometimes lead to toxicity in our personal relationships, in our private relationships. Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Shez Hanif. I bring you another episode here. I believe our third one now with my fellow coach, also a mentor of mine, Dr. Elena Pezzini. I'm very honored, very blessed. Somehow I managed to ethically drive the time that she comes on, so I'm really, really happy and glad that she's taken time out. She's very, very busy. Just to give you an indication of how lucky we are to have Elena here live with us. She gets paid like tens and thousands of dollars to do the equivalent of what she's going to share with us today, to share some of the gems she's going to share. She gets paid in her thousands at a corporate level by some of the leading companies, corporate organizations in the world. So Dr. Elena, thank you so much. Truly, truly blessed to have you. How are you doing, madam?
Thank you so much, Shez, for having me. It's a blessing. Always happy to help out in any way I can. That's the whole purpose of living. And just quick, are we recording on Zoom as well?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Very good. So, yes, I'm Italian American. I still have a strong Italian accent. So apologies for that. Okay, so thank you. Shez picked the topic and I am happy to share my knowledge. I am a scientist. I have a PhD in psychology. I mastered in industrial organizational psychology, which is basically a fancy word for career psychology. And I'm a certified coach. So happiness is a trendy topic. It's simple yet complex. I'm definitely not a master. Just like any of us, I do my best to get better and better at it. It's definitely a daily practice. I've learned a lot from my mentors, some of which Shez and I share in common. So thank you to all of them. And today I'll do my best to share some of the latest findings in science about this topic. So Shez was asking me, can people be happy? Well, what do you think the answer is, Shez?
Absolutely you can, but I want to hear it in your words. Like, yeah, let's get stuck into the big question. Like, how can we cultivate happiness in our modern times, specifically in our relationships? I mean, I've been doing, I don't know if you've been aware, I've been doing a lot of kind of marital relationships and that kind of thing lately. So yeah, it's a very kind of sensitive area, and I think there is I feel like a general lack of practices and rituals which would make us happy on a daily basis. But yeah, I really want to hear it from the expert herself. So like, how can we cultivate happiness in our personal and also professional relationships? Because we do a lot of coaching at corporate level as well. For many years, you're the go-to person for companies like Procter Gamble and Torch Foundation. So yeah, I have been doing my research. So yeah, let's hear it from you, Elena.
Thank you, Shez. Well, the good news is that happiness comes from inside of you, of course. Therefore, you are in control, fully in control, and therefore, yes, anybody can be happy. So it doesn't come from anything or anybody outside of you. So relationships just do reflect what's inside of you, your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings. The best relationship you have is the relationship with yourself. So because we're humans, we do fluctuate with different emotions throughout the day. If we didn't, we would be robots and we would have a problem. Yeah, we would be missing some important parts of our brain, the sympathetic, parasympathetic, etc., etc. So just like we take care of our body with nutritious foods, same thing, we have to take care of our mind with nutritious thoughts, nutritious emotions. And if inadvertently, which we all do, have some negative thoughts that come to your mind. I just finished yoga, and sometimes I wander off, and the teacher calls me back in, like, "Doc, where are you?" It's important to reframe, turn around those negative thoughts pretty fast, instead of taking minutes or hours or even longer. So it's important that we really have a diet, quote unquote, a nutrition, a mental nutrition that cultivates positive thoughts, positive emotions, positive feelings.
Yeah.
And that is what we reflect onto our relationships with spouses, co-workers, animals. Animals are really good because they're usually on the same exact wavelength than the human are. So if we're sad, they're sad. If we're happy, they're happy. So obviously, yes. So it comes from inside of us. If we really do our best to get back into a positive thought, a positive emotion, even when negative thoughts surface, then our environment will benefit immensely from these positive thoughts and emotions, and they become loving and supportive environments. So to just give you an example, kids are also very good, because kids usually are just very innocent. They've not experienced some major traumas or challenges. So when they play, they develop their physical and social skills, and which will help them later on in life. And same for adults. We do forget to put enough fun, play, and entertainment in our schedule, in our busy calendar. I'm guilty of the same, of course, to evoke these positive thoughts and emotions. So it's very important to cultivate those positive emotions to reduce our stress. And stress is there. We just need to learn to manage it and reduce it, to prevent illnesses, and to have more supportive relations. So this is actually, it's a theory in psychology called broaden and build. And it's based on findings that show that our positive emotions can help us manage stress, translating to some fun outcomes, fun reality, fun experiences. They help us build trusting and deep relationships, trustworthy, and also help us with challenges in life, which does require creativity. Yeah, think outside the box. So it all stems from mastering our positive thoughts and feelings. So what about you, Shez? How's your calendar in terms of cultivating joy? Does it cultivate joy?
Absolutely. I mean, there's always room for improvement, Dr. Elena. I'd say that much. But thank you for sharing some of your wisdom there. And I feel like, if there was one thing that I had to share with people, which is like, really worked for me, I would say it's the concept of gratitude. And it's a word which is used quite a lot, and it has different meanings for different people, I guess. But for me, in its simplest form, it's about cultivating happiness through gratitude by having some kind of routine, whether that's a morning routine or afternoon routine or evening routine, which incorporates a little bit of exercise, some moving, some breathing, some visualization of all the wonderful things that you want to achieve, which you maybe haven't done yet. Just getting your reticular activating system thinking about possibilities in your life, right? And happiness and joy and bliss. So yeah, I would say 10-15 minutes of having some kind of gratitude routine with some exercise or something mixed in. Yeah, I think for me that is just my boost. And when I don't do it, I feel it. I'm grumpy. I'm not the same, right? So yeah, and for some people it's yoga, some people it's walking their dog, for some people it's just connecting with nature. It's I like to incorporate all of those things into a 15-20 minute routine. So yeah, I guess it depends on the individual, but that's really what's helped me.
Great, very good. I'm happy to hear.
Excellent.
And
Yeah, sorry, one thing I did want to ask you, Dr. Elena, actually was, and we're also happy to take questions. We don't have very long because Elena's just, really, really maxed out at the moment. But if there are any questions, please put them forward, and we'll definitely try to get them answered now or maybe later. But one thing I wanted to ask you, Elena, was like people are not happy, right? That's the reality, generally speaking. That's what I find in a lot of kind of sessions I have with clients, and just in terms of my everyday interaction with people, whether it's personally, professionally. What is the reason that we're not happy in our modern times, despite having all of this technology and so many facilities and things at our disposal? Why not?
that's a great question. That's a great question. Again, it's an art, and we need to get better and better at it. And this is related to having a compassionate mind. Okay. So for instance, we all have an inner voice, and that's where the negative thoughts and the unhappy thoughts, just like your clients have, or like we have sometimes, come from. So our inner voice is slightly different for everybody, but it could be like a perfectionist inner voice that wants us to do everything perfect. Of course, that doesn't exist, right? Or it could be a doubtful voice, which second guess, self-doubt every decision. By the way, that's nerve-wracking. Or it can be a fearful voice, afraid of everything, analysis paralysis. Or it could be an inner voice that never allows you to take a break. You just have to always stay on it, like fill your calendar by the second. I'm guilty of that, actually. That's my inner voice. But label your inner voice, because that way you can use it instead of your enemy. You can use it as your friend to have fun with, and put it in place, and light that fire, under you. So
yeah, sorry, Elena, one quick question that's coming about the inner voice, seeing that you're talking about that, is it says, how to suppress the detrimental inner voice.
Excellent. Yes. So it's basically the good news is that there is a solution, which is called self-compassion. What is self-compassion? So self-compassion is basically taking a kind-hearted approach towards yourself. Again, yourself is the most important relationship you have. All the other relationships outside of you will reflect that. So when you have a very judgmental inner voice, just know that we're humans, we make mistakes, they're there to learn from. You can laugh at them, have fun with them. So practice compassion with self-kindness, being kind to yourself, accepting where you're at currently. Don't jump backwards, which is a waste of energy. Don't jump too much into the future, otherwise you're missing the present.
Yeah.
And recognizing nobody's perfect, and being mindful, which means not catastrophize. We're all guilty of the same. If something goes bad, let's say I spill some of my tea right now, and if I wanted, I could really run wild with that. Oh my goodness, I ruined the podcast. Poor Shaz, he's never going to interview me again. Or my carpet is going to look awful, and I have guests coming for the holidays. They're going to think, oh my goodness, she's so dirty. I mean, I could go crazy, right? But that's called catastrophizing. So it's important we put a stop to that. And so self-compassion is actually more important than self-confidence. So again, self-compassion is more important than self-confidence, because it admits it implies kindly admitting our mistakes, okay, and humbly. We all make them. We all make them. We're humans. So this way you can still stay positive with your thoughts and be resilient with your mindset. So, and self-compassion has been linked to better work performance, better empathy towards others, again, going back to relationships, reduced fatigue, emotional exhaustion, and also, people who just go from one decision to another. Self-compassion helps them stay grounded, like stay intentional and just finish what they started, basically. So again, and this can be very motivating. And so I would like to, so here's, I'm going to put a link here in the chat. If you can share that, and maybe this can be like a fun gift, okay, tool that you can take with your loved ones or by yourself. I put it in the chat if you want to. It's like a fun little quiz or test to see where you're at with self-compassion. You can share it now or later.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Do you want to share the screen or do it later? We can do it later.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you can even do it at the dinner table during the holidays. That can be fun. Yeah, or while you're digesting. So another way to cultivate happiness for yourself and your relations is, of course, gratitude, which sounds so simple, but it's the simple things we don't do or we don't do habitually or consistently. So it can be something simple as writing down 3 things you're grateful for at the end of each week. You don't even have to do it daily. And that helps us pay attention to the good things, and therefore it increases our positive thoughts. So gratitude is linked by science to just overall better well-being, better wellness, better health. Does that make sense, Shez?
Yeah, absolutely. This is all gold, really. I've put the link, guys, on our Facebook chat and also on Clubhouse as well for the benefit of the audience.
Great. Okay, fantastic. So maybe you can tell us later what you're grateful for, and start that with your clientele, and I'll comment, and it's good to do it, especially at this time of the year, where at the end of the calendar year, where we take inventory and stock of where we're at before planning the new one. So to answer the rest of your question, which is a big question, to help with happiness, courage is important. Courage, and we're all courageous. We all have it. I mean, being alive takes courage. So we all have it. We just need to tap back into it. So bravery, and that's the precursor to joy, in terms of trying something new, being open to new experiences that can be inspiring and empowering. So in science, it's called the feeling elevated, right? Lifted, feeling elevated, which actually occurs when we see people volunteering, helping others. We automatically just have this endorphin and this serotonin booster, these hormones that make us happy, because we just see that it goes beyond ourselves. It's having a ripple effect into humanity, and more people can benefit from our efforts, our energy, our thoughts and emotions. So I hope you get to do some of that, especially during the holidays. So this one I want to show. It's a very short video that explains in a fun actions what I just said, which can be so conceptual. So here's the link. It's a quick YouTube video. Here we go. If you can share the screen with that, Shez.
Yeah.
That YouTube, please.
You want me to play it now?
Yes, please. It's just 2 minutes.
Okay, awesome. share our screen.
That's okay. I think you can pause it. You guys get the gist. So
I think it's maybe connection is dropping slightly.
yeah, a little bit, but maybe later on you can also share. Yeah, you can pause it if you want. You can close the window, so. Wow. There you go. Perfect. Yeah. So that's a perfect example of emotional contagion. Emotional contagion, which is an actual dynamic that occurs among humans in society. Just like the virus is contagious, this is a better contagion than the virus. So basically, they were at a concert, and this one person just got up and started dancing, and was able to rally up the entire crowd one by one, right? Because he was just so happy and just being himself, and this is an example of how joy is contagious, much more than the COVID virus. So there you go. So again, it's the process where people's moods spread to the people they spend time with, and going back to relationships. So to control your emotions, just to summarize, feel them, you can label them, you can journal about them, and you can physically embody them to spread them, start laughing at yourself, or just at a video, etc. And that will continue.
Yep.
Another way.
Music as well. Very powerful.
Yeah, music. Yes, very good. Music. Yeah, certain music, maybe not all of them. Some music could evoke some sad memories for some people, depending on, what happened when you last heard the song. Like, for instance, there is a song that reminds me that was playing when my pet was passing. So I don't like that song. I mean, it's a beautiful song, but just it reminds me of such a sad loss that I usually when I hear it on the radio, I just switch the station. So, so basically, yes, to get more into a positive mindset that translates into happiness for yourself and others. Another tool is called savoring your emotions. So savoring your past, savoring your present, savoring your future. So in NLP, neurolinguistic programming, you can really savor with all of your senses: aromatherapy, the taste, the hearing, that's why music, or the feeling, the movement, you can dance. So you really go into that when you feel joyous to expand it even more, that moment of joy. You just go into it with everything you've got: your hearing, your taste, your scent, maybe spray some aromatherapy, the touch, every sense you can think of. So really, really go deep into it and honor it. So
what about Elena, very quickly, like I know we're kind of strapped for time here, but like what about when you're in the heat of the moment? You know what I mean? Like you're in the kind of that pressure cooker situation. It could be with a loved one, could be someone at work, and you know that all these things you mentioned about like aromatherapy and cultivating that environment so that you keep yourself kind of relaxed and calm and happy. But sometimes life gets in the way, we get angry. It's really hard to control your emotions in the heat in the heat of the battle. What would you say? Like, is there anything that people can do once they're in that situation?
Yeah, I think this works with kids as well, even though I don't have any kids of my own. So taking a little time out and just pause the situation, because we don't want to escalate it and spiral down and make it even worse. So take a time out, go out, take a walk, go in a different room, snap out of it, listen to a little music that changes your mood, journal how you're feeling, to let it out, so that you don't have to, quote unquote, sorry to be graphic, vomit all of that worry onto your partner or a friend or whomever in front of you. And you contain it, you contain it, so then you realize you're giving it a little perspective. You probably realize you're just exaggerating, you're catastrophizing, you are being doubtful, you're being judgmental, you're not being compassionate, self-compassionate, and so on and so forth. I would definitely recommend that, taking a quick pause to regain control. Yes. And this other great article actually came out yesterday on Apple and Fast Company, which is a great magazine. You can read it online. Pretty much, you can share that too. Pretty much just summarize it, what we said.
Awesome.
Yeah, so you have some some reading, when you feel heated up, can help you calm down. This will be a good reading to remind you of what's important to you, what to focus on, that any bad experience, including these heat in the moments, they can help you get better or improve your relationship because you're learning from it. So it's good to be thankful for those disagreements or differences, because we can absolutely grow from it. There you go. And then to wrap it up, because it is the holidays, I wanted to also give you some freebies.
Oh, wow.
You can download from my website, so you have my contacts too.
Wow.
Yeah, that will help you plan for your next year. So here we go. I'll put that the chat box. Technology. So great. So I hope we can do some more on other topics again later. You know, we have a good relationship, Shaz, so I'm happy to.
Definitely. No, I really appreciate that. You've shared so much goodness with us, some really powerful content, and yeah, that would be beautiful if we can, you know, kind of come on again every now and then, maybe, and you know, you can just share. You've got a wealth of knowledge that you can share, you know, and I'm really, I mean, the community that I'm working with at the moment, they you know, a lot of them are in a really low place, and I think things like this just will allow them to cultivate that happiness in their life that we're talking about. So yeah, it would be really, really nice if we can. You know, if we can kind of do this again, it'd be beautiful.
My pleasure, my pleasure. And I want to give credit as well, because I also learned these tools and practices from others, and I want to give credit definitely to some of our common mentors, like T. Harv Eker, who has an amazing course called Mastering Happiness, Mastering Life. Dr. Martin Seligman, who's been one of my professors, and his affiliates, like Better Up. Seligman did start the whole positive psychology branch. So you can read a bunch of his books, workbooks, great material. And there you go. So I wish you a joyous season, and I wish you a fun practice of cultivating and mastering your happiness, because everybody does deserve it.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we wish the same for you. Thank you so much for joining us. It's a privilege, as always. I don't take this lightly, Dr. Elena. I really do appreciate you taking the time out. You know, it's a blessing to have people like you in my circle. And, you know, so I can learn, I can grow, and keep trying to develop myself. And, you know, this is something which, you know, I made an oath, you know, when I was in my low place, I said that if I can overcome this, if I can manage these problems, if I can learn what I need to do, I will share, I will give back. And I'm just really, to be honest, I'm just fulfilling that promise. But yeah, I'm really blessed that, you know, that people like you are willing, despite all your, you know, your busy schedule. Like you said earlier, you know, you've got that tendency to fill your schedule right up to the minute, right? So I'm sure it's a very colorful site, your calendar, with lots of different colors and you know, all very nicely kind of laid out. But thank you so much. Really, really honored, really, really grateful to have you. Thank you so much, and hopefully we can get you on again.
Yes, thank you for all the great work you do, Shaz. Have a great wrap up of the year. Enjoy. We'll be in touch.
Thank you so much, and thank you to all our listeners. If you have any questions, you have the link there for Dr. Elena. You have gotthepower.com. She has like a monthly business mastermind, which is free. Anyone can join. She has weekly group coaching sessions. Because of you know, her time, and she's so busy, she's not able really to help people individually one-to-one at the moment. Not so much anyway, as far as I'm aware. But definitely, the group coaching platform is a good way forward, and the monthly mastermind is free.
They can experience it for a month free, including you.
Awesome, excellent. I have to take you up on that offer. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Chef. Talk soon. Bye. Thanks, everyone.